Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video, and this time out we have the release date for Team Avatar Tales. So finally we get an updated date. It's been March 6th for a long time, but we knew that wasn't going to be the date. Now seemingly we have it. Dark Horse specifically said they would update their website when the date was coming, and here we have it. October 2nd, 2019. And immediately I was kind of like, okay, look, that's a really, really long delay from where it was, but okay, we finally have a date. I check up the date to confirm it's a Tuesday. It's not a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday. What? Like, every other book that's, a new comic has a Tuesday date. Except this one. And this is the most recent date that we have. I'm just really confused about what way Dark Horse is doing this. Like, I understand, like, the Turf Wars hardcover edition is a different type of book because there's no digital version of the hardcover released. So that is a physical book, it's a collection, so they're released in comic book stores first and then mass market. But these ones, they're going with the kind of digital mass market date kind of being basically at the same time as the comic ones. But this is confusing because this book is new, and I don't see any reason why like this should be treated overly differently than, say, Runes of the Empire, which is obviously the closest one to this, because like October 2nd and then this is October 8th. There's only a 6-day gap, but obviously that's a Tuesday, and the previous one's a Wednesday. So it's very confusing that like we have one book here, and then we're going to get another book here. So, I don't know, is that saying that Team Avatar Tales is going to... Runes of the Empire Part 2 is going to get delayed? I'm not really sure, but Dark Horse really have this way of just making every new update really, really confusing. Really confusing. So, maybe this is the way that they're going to do it. I suppose ultimately this book, when it was originally confirmed, goes back, I suppose, to the point where it would have been out maybe at the time when they were still doing the Wednesday releases. But I don't know, it's pretty confusing to me. Now, as for, I suppose, ultimately, if this is the end date, if they finally have an official release date here in October 2nd, how long have we been waiting for this? So I went back and I found the announcement article for this, which was here. So this Dark Horse blog post, obviously from pretty early last year, it's actually pretty much a year to the date almost, that they announced this. ECCC 2018, Dark Horse continues to expand the Avatarverse with new titles in fall 2018. Obviously that didn't happen. But as you can see here, Team Avatar Tales goes on sale September 5th, 2018. The book is now coming out more than a year after it was initially meant to be out. That is crazy considering what this book is. I've said it every time I've done an update on this, but what we know about this book is it's 80 pages, it's a collection. Nearly half of this book is reprints of comics that we've already had before. We already have previews that pretty much cover all of one of the seemingly major stories with Toph the Boulder and the Cat. We have Jean Yang's like 2-page Sokka story, and so on. So we've seen basically over half of this book already. So it means there's only about half of a book to actually, still come out. So how could they get this so wrong? Because clearly at some point in the production of this book, it was capable of coming out over a year ago. Like a year earlier than it now is scheduled for. So what happened along the way to cause this book to be this badly delayed? Especially when, like, they had one of the writers at New York Comic Con last year and they were talking about the book like there was no problems. That's where we got basically nearly one of the full stories as preview pages. So I don't really know what the situation is with this, because it's not like they're really trying to fill a gap here as such, because they're really just inserting it like right in the middle of the release of these two books. We have Imbalance Part 3, September 10th, and then of course Runes of the Empire Part 2, October 8th, and then you suddenly have now Team Avatar Tales coming out, like pretty much right in the middle of them. It just seems a bit weird that like there's pretty much nothing until we get to May at this point, pretty much. Like, of course, there's the Turf Wars Library Edition, but then we get May, and we've basically got 2 books immediately in a row. Then we're waiting a little bit until the Kyoshi novel, and then we'll be waiting again until Imbalance Part 3. Then this book will eventually come out, and then like days later, Ruins of the Empire Part 2 will come out. So there's definitely some confusion about like just like why they're deciding on these specific dates. And again, with this one, there's the whole Tuesday, Wednesday issue, so I don't know what's up. Because as you can see here, like as I showed you, October 8th for this book is a Tuesday. That means it's going to be released digitally. Basically, you can get it Monday midnight from one of the digital platforms and just get the book really easily. And it's the same situation with this. September 10th, I believe, is also a Tuesday. No problem getting this book. Why the book that should be the kind of, in a way, one of the clearest ones that they're trying to reprint some books and finally get them out there, you know, to more people, and this has the kind of old release kind of format? I don't know. Maybe it'll change to October 1st. I'm not sure. Because if there's no way they'll have this come out the same day as Ruins of the Empire Part 2. Now, realistically, Ruins of the Empire Part 2 will probably get a release date change and be pushed back a little bit, because pretty much all of the books do, but I don't know. I'm just constantly confused by some of Dark Horse's decisions in all of this, with just this extra thing of them switching to the Tuesday releases, and then this book suddenly getting the Wednesday date. Why this book was delayed so many times, I don't get it. Like, even if you say, like, okay, it's a licensed book, there's a lot of stuff going on, approval, and it's so many different writers, so many different artists. Just the fact that we know it's only these short stories and we've seen so many of them before, it's such a large amount of delays that it's had. There has to be some reason behind it, but we're obviously not told any of that. So, I'm just going to end it there before I start losing my mind over the release dates for these books. We still have a pretty good lineup of books this year. I feel they could be a little bit better spread out so as to, I suppose, maximize the attention on them, rather than what it seems like is that we basically have these 2 kind of chunks of time during the year. Like May, we're going to get 2 books within a couple of weeks, and then like September and October we're going to get a big chunk of books, and then scattered stuff throughout otherwise. So yeah, in the comments let me know your thoughts are on Team Avatar Tales finally getting a release date here of October 2nd, 2019. Why do you think this one has the Wednesday release rather than the Tuesday release, which seems to be the new thing that they're going for? But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.